Hi guys, it's Harry here. Today I'm back with another video, and quickly, just before this video starts, I just want to say, I want to give a shout out to my brother's new channel. It's called The Millwall Maniac, MILLWALL, and he's basically, because he's a Millwall fan, that's a football team, and I'm giving him it for Christmas. I doesn't know we've got it right now, so if you want to show some love, I'll probably leave a link in the description below, so you can go check that out. That's if I do that, but if not, just try and search it up, try and find it. You know, there'll be a video of me on it, so you'll know that's when that's the one I mean. And he'll be doing football videos and all that sort of thing, like soccer if you're American and Canadian or whatever. But yeah, so make sure you check that out as well. But this has got nothing to do with this video. Today's video is going to be coming up to the end of 2017 now, almost Christmas in I think 3 days. Very excited for that. But this is basically what's made my 2017 in WWE. It's not the top 10 of what everyone thinks. It's just basically my personal top 10 of what I think WWE has done well or what they've done amazing this year. And there's going to be a bonus one at the end, so make sure you stay tuned for that. But now the first one is going to be the return of Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle is an amazing pro wrestler. He's an Olympic gold medalist and probably one of, if not the best pro wrestlers of all time. That's not being argued by anyone. And this year, he come back to WWE after probably over 10 years of leaving it, to come back and finally come back in the fray. Come back after WrestleMania 33 as the general manager of Monday Night Raw. And he's been one of the main reasons why after the Superstar Shake-Up, after WrestleMania, the Raw has been the main brand. And I think he's been, out of all of the general managers and commissioners on all the shows, he has been my most entertaining one to watch. So that's why I got him. And also, he's already wrestled 2 matches. He's come back at TLC when they replaced Roman Reigns and wrestled with the Shield. Who didn't want to see that? And he went against Braun Strowman. I mean, he went against The Miz. He went against The Bar, Cesaro and Sheamus. Absolutely amazing. And also wrestled one more match at Survivor Series when he was in the elimination match. And he actually come this close to winning before he got eliminated by Shane McMahon after Triple H pedigreed him, which could be setting up for a WrestleMania matchup. The next thing that's made 2017 in WWE absolutely amazing is the introduction. I was going to say the introducement, but it's the introduction of the WWE UK Championship. This title has hosted so many great matches. Not only do we have the UK Championship tournament, which is absolutely sublime matches on that, but also just the matches for the title on NXT and the NXT takeovers between Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne, who is the current champion, holding that belt obviously. And just the fact that we now have a belt just for the United Kingdom has a special place in my heart, especially just due to the fact that I'm an English person, you know. Obviously, that means that, you know, if they continue it, maybe one day I can be holding up that belt and not just be the £20 champion. So, absolutely amazing. Now, one of the things that's kind of upsetting for me due to the fact that this wrestler has left, and it's not actually that easy to guess, which is kind of surprising. In other years, you'd be like, oh, I know who this is, CM Punk or Daniel Bryan, that sort of thing. This year, there's been quite a few releases. But the one I'm going to say, even though it hasn't been specifically released, it hasn't been on TV in a while, and it's Neville. Neville's played an amazingly huge part in 205 Live this year, coming back, making his return as a heel at the Royal Rumble in January after attacking Rich Swann. He catapulted straight to the top, claiming the Cruiserweight Championship, and instantly made the belt seem more relevant and more of a prize. He's elevated that title more than Enzo Amore, Rich Swann, anyone you can think of has held the belt. TJ Perkins, Brian Kendrick. Here's the #1 reason why 205 Live was actually interesting at one point. And now that he's not on it, we've just got the Zoe train. I do like that, but, you know, I do wish we could have Neville back. And I do think that will happen, but due to the fact that we don't have a clue if that's going to happen, I just want to say bye to Neville. It's been a pleasure if you don't come back. But please do, man. Please do. Because, you know, just some of the matches he could have. Especially now we've got Hideo Itami. I'm picturing it. WrestleMania 34. Hideo Itami versus Neville for the Cruiserweight Championship. Just imagine it. Now, this next one is a pretty broad entry, if I do say so myself. But it is the fact that SmackDown Live proved that Raw doesn't have to be the main show, and that SmackDown can actually be more entertaining than Raw, especially before the Superstar Shake-Up. This sort of had a special place in my heart due to the fact that I've always felt that SmackDown was more interesting for me. Not just due to the fact that the wrestlers necessarily. I know it sounds really stupid, but I just kind of like the colour blue. So I instantly, when they go Team Blue versus Team Red, I instantly go to Team Blue. Due to the fact that this year as well, it was the first show that I ever went to, was SmackDown Live. The first ever wrestling show, and the first ever wrestler that I met, AJ Styles, a wrestler from SmackDown Live. Just SmackDown Live this year has been absolutely amazing. Before the Superstar Shake-Up, we had Dean Ambrose, John Cena full time. We had AJ Styles. We had even the likes of The Miz, who's suddenly become a main star again, and people have started to appreciate him. Just the fact that show, and Talking Smack especially, has given people a platform to push themselves and elevate them to the top without having to be on the main brand of Monday Night Raw. Even though, I won't lie, it's been more entertaining after the Superstar Shake-Up. Now, this wrestler returned last year, in 2016, but he had his run, for the majority of it, in 2017, so I'm going to count it anyway. And it's not going to be a very popular opinion, but I absolutely loved Goldberg. Now, I don't mind that cringy chanting, but I'm not going to lie. And after all, it's a list for me, not for everyone else. Goldberg this year just showed me that him and Braun Strowman, especially, which I'll get to in a bit of a spoiler there, have just shown me that just one person being an absolute dominant force doesn't have to mean they're being overpushed, and they can be entertaining. Just take with the fact that he comes back as Survivor Series now. This can't be counted because it was 2016. But he comes back and he just destroys Brock Lesnar. It's amazing. Then he starts going on Raws and just taking out everyone else. I mean, he took out Rusev at one point. And then I didn't want him to take the Universal title off Kevin Owens. But he did. And the way he did it, one spear, one jackhammer. This guy was a monster. And it was so entertaining. You can't lie. Yeah, you'll be disappointed that he took the title off of Kevin Owens. But you can't lie. His run was entertaining as hell. And that's why he is on my list. And I did mention it in my previous talk about Goldberg. But a person who I've loved this year has been Braun Strowman. The monster among men, Braun Strowman, has been an absolute masterstroke by WWE. 2 years ago, almost, I think it was, that he debuted and he was rumoured to go against The Undertaker at WrestleMania. And no one wanted that match. Not a single person wanted it. And now, think about it, 2 years on, I think everyone would be happy as hell if that match had actually gone on to the WrestleMania 34 card. Now, I don't know why I used the expression happy as hell, because, I mean, hell's not happy. So let's say happy as heaven. There we go. If he went up against him at WrestleMania 34. And the fact that everyone's wanting him to become Universal Champion, he gets some of the biggest pops, I'd say probably the biggest pops, on Monday Night Raw. Every time he comes out and he just destroys everyone. How is it entertaining for you to destroy everyone? It seems like a bit of an over push or a bit boring. But it's not. It's the most entertaining thing I've seen on Monday Night Raw, and I love it. Especially due to the fact that, especially at SummerSlam, I was in Bulgaria, the first ever time I've gone abroad, and I'm staying up, and I'm watching the match between the Fatal 4-Way of Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, Samoa Joe, and Braun Strowman. And he had some of the best spots in the match with all of them star-studded people. He has been amazing, and I hope he continues this momentum straight into 2018. And leading on from the point that I made last time, that in Bulgaria was the first time I've been abroad, and obviously I was there for SummerSlam, not to see the show, obviously they wasn't doing it in Bulgaria, but I was there, that was the first time I've been abroad, so added to the pay-per-views I was watching, and one was NXT Brooklyn 2, I believe, or 3. And obviously, as you see about that picture there, the reason why that picture was put up there and why I referenced the NXT TakeOver was because Adam Cole, baby, made his debut on NXT. Adam Cole, probably, I will not lie, my favourite indie wrestler before he came to WWE, has debuted in WWE. I did not see that happen in a million years. A member of the Bullet Club, I mean, first we had Shinsuke Nakamura from New Japan. Then AJ Styles come from the Bullet Club. And Gallows and Anderson come from the Bullet Club. And now, oh my God, we have Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish. And I'm going to do it again. Adam Cole, baby! Coming into the WWE. How could you not like that? This is amazing. And especially his super kicks and just everything, his character. And anything they have War Games. I loved him, wanted him to win. And they won. Sorry if that's a spoiler, but I mean, that was quite a bit ago now. Come on, catch up. But, yeah, he is probably the reason why I like NXT more than ever at this point. Even more than Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, you know, all that lot, Finn Balor in NXT. I think I like NXT more than ever right now. So, personally, I always drop in and out of wrestling quite a lot. I've been in it for probably 3 or 4 years in a row now. So I don't see anytime soon that I'm going to be dropping out. But before this, I would drop out every 1 year, every 2 years. I would just stop watching wrestling for some reason. It just wouldn't interest me anymore. And I started tuning back in just around before, like, maybe spring of 2014, I believe. And it was just at the time The Shield was stabbed in the back by Seth Rollins. So I got to see the fallout of all that. But one thing I did miss was The Shield. And that's obviously why that's my next point. The Shield reuniting, to me, was just an amazing thing to see. That, just the spectacle of it. Who would have thought a year ago that Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns, who weren't even on the same show, all three of them, a year ago, would even be getting back together? Who would have thought that? And especially since the fact that everyone's sort of thinking that WrestleMania 34, it could have been Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins in the reverse, where Dean Ambrose stabs him in the back, and he's injured now, so get well soon, Dean. So it looks like that won't be happening anymore, since he's, I think, not pulled a muscle, but he's ripped something, like a tendon, in his elbow, I believe, and he should be out for 6 months, and it's 4 months until WrestleMania, so unfortunately it doesn't look like that's going to happen. But does that mean that we're going to get Seth Rollins turning on Roman Reigns? And I prefer Seth Rollins as a heel so much more. Could we get that? I would absolutely love that. That'd be the best fallout for me. Perhaps coming up to a SummerSlam when Dean Ambrose returns. Again, have Seth Rollins do it again. Or maybe even Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose stab Roman Reigns. Or Roman Reigns do it. Either way, whatever combination, even if it was just 1 or 2, turn heel. Maybe even all 3 of them turn heel. If 1 of them turns heel, 2 of them turns heel, 3 of them turns heel, it'll be amazing. And even if they don't, and they just go their separate ways, or they stay together, there's nothing that can go wrong with this right now. Unless they do an invasion storyline, and somehow have just everything at their fingertips, and somehow do everything wrong, which I don't see them doing this time. So that's why I think that this could be the best thing, and it's one of the reasons why I love WWE in 2017. Now, the penultimate entry into my list, excluding the bonus point that I'm adding at the end, has to be a friendship. And of course, it's the Armani of friendships. And yes, I did this, add the Interflex, so I have an Armani t-shirt on. Come on, get over it. But it is Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho. Just their friendship coming from 2016, wrapping up in 2017, and just the fallout of it, which I think has been absolutely amazing as hell. In 2017, we saw the continuation of the friendship between Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens. We saw the Festival of Friendship, which I believe is probably one of the best segments WWE's produced, not just in the last few years or this year, but I'd say ever. It's up there with This Is Your Life and just other incredible things like Mankind winning the title. And I realise I just quoted Mankind in 2 of the best things ever, so well done, Mick Foley. But it's just been amazing. At WrestleMania 33, it wasn't my favourite match on the card. I think it was probably far from it. I had a lot greater matches. But at the end of the day, they still put on an amazing match. Just because it wasn't one of my favourites, that's because the other ones are great. Doesn't mean it was terrible. I'd say it was even very, very good. It wasn't even bad. I just think it was an amazing match. I just didn't think it would calibre the other ones. And some of the spectacle of the other ones. But the fact is, they've done that. And afterwards, they managed to get Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens on Smackdown Live and have a fallout with him injuring Jericho to let him go off and stuff like that. Just this whole angle was amazing, and it put both men over, and especially pushed Kevin Owens up the map with his Universal title reign, and that's why that's second on my list. Now, yes, the perspective has changed on this as I've flipped the camera around. The reason for this is because my hand aches so much. I've been sat here for probably about an hour just filming this video, and sitting down holding a camera, and I was just outside playing football, and my hand is basically just cramped right now. Not literally, but it just really hurts. So that's the reason I flipped this around. And hopefully you can see that I've put a bit more effort into my latest videos and stuff. Done a bit more editing. Nothing special, literally far from special. But I've just done more clips, cut things out a bit more, added in pictures, started doing that. Just so hopefully it can improve the experience you watching my videos. But this is the #1 entry minus my bonus entry at the end. And this is just one of the things I think is absolutely amazing. And you will note that I do have a 2016 picture as the little interval before the next sort of speech I'm doing. But the reason for this is I couldn't get a picture with all these people I wanted to do in it. And it's just tag team wrestling. Right, you cannot lie to me that tag team wrestling this year hasn't been probably the greatest it's been in a long time. We've had the rise and the heel turn of the Usos. We've had the New Day transfer to Smackdown Live, and before that, putting on amazing matches. We've had Sheamus and Cesaro finally claim their own and become a dominant force at the Raw Tag Team title division. We've even had the club of Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows, which sounds ridiculous to say now, claim the belts. On SmackDown, we've had Chad Gable and Jason Jordan as the title holders. And we've now got Chad Gable teaming with Shelton Benjamin. I mean, on Raw, we've now got Jason Jordan splitting, which has nothing to do with tag team wrestling, I know, but it's still. We've had Big Cass and Enzo Amore's explosion. That has to come from a tag team. We've had probably R-Truth actually have an engaging storyline when he broke his tag team up with Goldust when Goldust turned on him. And let me not forget that the Hardy Boys, yes, you heard me right, the Hardy Boys return to Monday Night Raw at WrestleMania 33. My favourites ever, but Jeff Hardy, him and CM Punk were my favourites growing up as a kid, which I realise now is kind of funny because it's kind of like the Smarks, well, if that's a thing really. That's what they're back. Jeff Hardy and CM Punk and that, and I was in that as a kid, as a 6-year-old, as a 7-year-old, which I find quite funny really, rather than going for John Cena. I just sort of floated to them, genuinely. But you know what? I just think tag team wrestling, some of the matches, even the pre-show, it shows you shouldn't do that. Of the SummerSlam, we had the Usos and the New Day. They had another match at Hell in a Cell. Some of the spots in there, like one of the Usos getting jammed into the corner with kendo sticks and them turning almost face now. We've had, even at Clash of Champions, we had an amazing match, probably my favourite match of the night. Oh, that and the United States title match with Baron Corbin, Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler, the person who won that match. And talking of Clash of Champions, if you haven't seen my video, check that out. That's my reactions and my predictions if you're interested in that. Find that on my channel. Because this year, you cannot lie, tag team wrestling has been the best it's been in a long time. And that's why it's been my #1 thing on this list. Now, I'll flip back to my right hand again, because now this one's aching. Even though I'm doing this, it still aches more than, almost my arm, almost more than the other one, just because that take alone took me half an hour, because it was a longer one. I just got so pent up, and I just kept slipping up and stuff every sort of cut I did. Now, the bonus one, it's literally, when I said this is a personal list, it wasn't lying, because no one else would have experienced this, and it's basically my first show and just the things that happened on it. As I spoke about earlier in this video, and I spoke about in a lot of my videos, and that picture just before this little clip, I went to Smackdown Live on the May 9th of 2017. It's the first show I ever went to, and I probably would say, unless you've been to some really good shows, your first show is almost always your favourite, just because of the amount of, you've never seen it before. It's so different. It's a new experience for you, and I can't believe it. And the fact that I'm going to put a clip here now that I met AJ Styles.
What's up, dude? No problem. Okay.
Thanks.
Hello. We sit?
Yeah, cheers.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Can I get your wristbands, please, guys?
We didn't have
any, no problem.
Well, that's good. We got it for free. Yeah, cheers, mate. Thank you. Bye. Was absolutely amazing. I mean, how many people can say that they had the chance to meet AJ Styles and too sweet next to him. I mean, I didn't too sweet him. I could have, but I was just so caught up in the moment. I've never met a wrestler before either, so I was a bit like, "Hi," and he was like, "Hey man," or "Sup dude," or something like that. I think it was "Sup dude." See, I can remember what he said. I'm just a fact. How could I meet AJ Styles, my favourite professional wrestler, him and Braun Strowman currently, and I've met him. Not many people can say that. I can't believe it. I can have that video for the rest of my life now. I just can't believe it. And it's the fact that I went to see Smackdown and I saw that. And actually, probably put a photo here. I saw the dark match of Shinsuke Nakamura versus Dolph Ziggler before they actually debuted on the main roster. It's just quality viewing. I got to see them before they even, especially Shinsuke Nakamura, before he even made his main roster debut. Obviously, he's been doing stuff in NXT, and I saw that, and him in New Japan, and obviously I've seen him like since then. But in kayfabe terms, his first match on the main roster wasn't then, or the times before that leading up to the pay-per-view of Backlash. It was at Backlash, and I just loved the fact that I got to see him wrestle, and Dolph Ziggler, because I like Dolph Ziggler as well. But yeah, that is my list. Especially that one probably went on for a long while, or the tag team one before that. But if you have watched the whole of this video, I just want to say thank you so much, because it means a lot to me that you've taken time out of your day to watch my video, and especially people that comment consistently. And there's a guy called JJ Styles. You see him in my comment section a lot of the time. Show him some love. He comments a lot. I might be doing a collab with him, I'm not sure, but I see him a hell of a lot of the time in my comment section, just giving me a lot of love. So I just want to give him a shout out quickly. Check that out. So if you do see this, man, thank you. You are appreciated. And hopefully you get some subs from this. And he's actually got more than me now anyway, so, you know, I'm not going to get many, but hopefully. Maybe if my channel blows up, then people will see this video, then yours might do well as well. But anyways, getting a bit off topic there. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I've been Harry, your £20 champion, without the belt. And I will see you in the next video. Peace.